Okay. Good morning, everyone. Sorry for the slight delay. We're calling the meeting to order on the 19th at 9:04 a.m. Thanks for all of you attending today. Welcome committee members in person and remotely via video conference. To any viewing public, thanks for joining us today. Please note that the meeting is being videotaped. A link to the video will be posted on the Authority website following this meeting. And as we start today's items, I'll remind committee members to speak as clearly as possible and to identify yourselves each time you speak or make a motion. An agenda is included in your committee packet. Ed, could you please call the roll?
Bill Beanie.
Here.
Eleanor Tatum.
Here.
Joe Martens.
Here.
Joe Zalewski.
Here.
Great. Have a quorum present. So the first item for the committee action on the agenda is the approval of meeting minutes. May I have a motion approving the minutes of our last meeting held on June 11th, 2025.
So moved.
Moved by Bill Beanie.
Second.
Second by Eleanor. Any discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
I'll abstain. Joe Zalewski, I was absent.
Okay, thank you, Joe. So the motion carries unanimously. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 567, resolution committing capital and granting approval for the president, CEO to enter into an agreement for professional auditing services. Adam, we're going to turn it over to you to give us some background for the proposed resolution.
Sure. The resolution goes into an invitation for bid that was issued by the Olympic Authority seeking proposals from qualified firms to provide audit services for fiscal years March 31st, 2026 through 2030. The proposal scope of services included to conduct an audit of the Olympic Authority's financial statements and issue an opinion as to whether the financial statements are presented fairly in all material respects in accordance with U.S. generally accepted accounting principles. In addition to that, the awarded firm would perform the audit in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards. They would also review and report without the expression of an opinion on the Olympic Authority's internal control procedures over financial reporting and conduct tests of compliance with applicable laws, regulations, contracts, agreements, and grants. This is just a little bit of what was involved in the scope of services. The invitation for bids was issued on the New York State Contract Reporter and the Olympic Authority website on June 1st, 2025. Bids were due on August 4th, 2025, sorry. And we also conducted interviews of, so let me back up actually. So we received the proposals on August 4th. Multiple firms submitted bids and they were scored and evaluated in accordance with the evaluation process in the IFB on the basis of best value. The evaluation committee consisted of the Olympic Authority's board chair, the capital accounts manager, cash management manager, and director of finance. Once the proposals were received, again, they were scored on the basis of responsiveness to the IFB or the invitation for bids. That received a 35% overall score. Also, they were scored on experience and qualifications, also receiving 35%, and cost or price, and that received a 30% for a total of 100% total score. After the evaluation team reviewed the proposals, two firms were selected to proceed with interviews. That took place on September 11th, 2025, and those firms were EFPR Group, CPA PLLC, and Clifton Larson Allen LLP. The interviews were then scored subsequently, and EFPR Group was determined to provide the best value to ORDA based on that process. Roll.
Thank you, Adam. So I will just add to that I was filling in as the audit chair in the absence of Cliff Donaldson, participated in all of the initial rankings of the firms that we received proposals from. My personal opinion, and I think was the opinion of the review committee, was that most of the firms in the scoring scored relatively same for all the categories except price. There was with some variation along the way, but I think price was a determining factor in who we would interview. I think we ended up taking the two firms that bid the lowest. And one was a New York City firm. The other firm was the firm that is providing ORDA with its auditing services for the last 5 years. We had a great discussion, I think, about the pros and cons of either hiring an outside firm or someone who was obviously very familiar with us. But I think all of the firms that responded were excellent firms. Their proposals, I have to say, were a little bit cookie cutter. They probably do 1,000 of these, or not 1,000, dozens of these responses to requests for bids. So a lot of them were very standard, but that's why we decided to interview two firms that were, again, geographically distinct, had a little bit of a different style in how they analyzed financials of different organizations. But I think the firm that we decided to recommend go forward had a distinct advantage because they were very familiar with ORDA. They did a lot more work for New York State entities, both governmental and authorities. And I congratulate staff on its thorough review, and it was, I think it was a great process, and I think we're recommending the best firm. And I welcome any questions from anybody on the board or on the committee. Any questions, discussion, questions for Adam? Once again, I'll thank Ron and his team for the excellent process they conducted. Okay, could I have a motion recommending that the Olympic Authority Board of Directors approve Resolution 567, a resolution committing capital and granting approval for the President and CEO to enter into an agreement for professional auditing services? So moved. Moved by Bill Beanie.
Second.
Seconded by Eleanor. Favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I should have asked if there's any further discussion. And okay, all opposed? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. That concludes the business of today's committee meeting. Are there any other items? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Bill and seconded by Eleanor. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions?